morning, students. So, is my audio is audible for you? Just send an acknowledgement in the chat. Thank you. Thank you for your acknowledgement. So, we'll commence the session. Service-oriented architecture, a demanding subject that you must know, and it is a sandwich of your applications, whatever you are developing, that is going to be accessed by the community in W3. Moreover, the entire W3 is going to have this SOA could be the platform for all the applications. It may be a retail or any type of applications, a web application, mobile application, or any enterprise applications, whatever may be. The prerequisite to learn this subject, to understand this subject, it's nothing but you must have some flavor on web programming. Might be have come across in terms of the subject name internet programming. Secondarily, you must have some basic coding knowledge in web technologies. Example, XML. Moreover, the syllabus has been organized in the reverse. So, Unit 1, we are going to study entirely on XML. Unit 2, we are going to study about the basic building blocks of SOA. Unit 3 and 4, we are going to concentrate on web service security, web service implementation, web service standards. Fifth unit is already have come across object-oriented analysis and design. The same way, the same pattern, how service-oriented analysis and design can happen. So this is the summary of your syllabus, right? So it would be organized like this. Unit 2 has to come first. You have to understand the basic building blocks. Then about the standards, Unit 3 and 4, standards and security purposes. Then as Unit 5 should be the one to understand about the problems and framework in the design aspect, that is what a SOAD. Finally, using XML, you can implement this. This could be the rearrangement of the flow, actually. Right? So, this is the thing. And moreover, I think you people have come across cloud computing already, if I'm not wrong. Cloud computing could be the domain that was completely built over using SOA. So we are going to see how it happened. And I'll tell you, so next to fog computing is emerging. So when some more technologies are being coming out of this cloud computing, the ultimate reason and the the way of developing new frameworks will start from this scratch SOA only, right? So Amazon have their complete foundation on this, and you have some more certified courses on this regarding SOA, and you can refer their website. So we'll get into the actual picture. So what I have conveyed has been drawn as block diagram here in terms of the units. Okay, and you could able to observe here service consumers, infrastructure, service interfaces, service implementation. XML, we are going to create the thing completely in the layer of implementation, service implementation. How we are going to create the service, how we are going to access the service. All those things will come under the section service interfaces and the implementation. Basically, what is a service? Accessing a printer in a network within a LAN, it can be a service. Accessing a printer or remotely access a printer which is away from the infrastructure, that also will come into the picture of service. So service cannot be restricted only to software or hardware. It may depends upon everything. That was you have learned in cloud computing. Software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. So on demand, you could able to use everything. So that could be the basic idea behind this. So no need to worry about service consumers, right? So you are accessing a computer storage, you are accessing a computer speed, you are accessing some X GB amount of memory which are available in Poland through your AWS, right? Now you are a consumer. The infrastructure will be provided by the corresponding cloud broker, especially if you want to convey the correct term is resource broker. What you are requesting, it will identify the best resource for you. Depending upon your budget, they will bring it as a service for you. That is what the infrastructure is going to provide you the concern. So services can be in terms of queue, right? So now I could able to reserve my infrastructure. From this time to this time, I am going to access this device. From this time to this time, I am going to utilize the supercomputer node of this particular XYZ in this time. So I could able to use my RSVP also here. Okay, so this could be the fundamental layout to understand service-oriented architecture. This could be the basic architecture to understand. Still we penetrate on this. The architecture can be penetrated. Okay, you are having lot of research scope on this for developing new frameworks. Already Amazon have developed a very good platform. You can't do anything over on that. Okay, but the thing is, still we have some research challenges to develop some new framework out of this. How can we customize it for India? Okay, AWS have developed a very good global standard, but how many of our people are accessing AWS efficiently? Because while you are going to create a login to access the resources, you have to give input. The primary thing is you have to map your credit card or any one of your credential with that pertaining to finance for billing. mandatorily. Only the people which are with the enterprise accounts, they could be able to enjoy it. Even people who, while they are coming out of the office, if they have the facility to access, it's okay. If they have the facility to access, okay. If not, it's it's not possible. Okay, so that's the concern here. So why don't you develop a framework like AWS, especially for things. Initially, IIT had a startup on this. So in 2008-9, they started selling diskless stations. That means they will sell. See, the price of the computer is 3,500 only. Just you have internet connection in your home, it is enough. Still, the startup is running in IITM Tech Park. So by purchasing, people will be very happy for purchasing a computer with a price of 3,500. They felt very happy, and the internet connection will be there. It will be like a device. That's all, right? So computer means you will have a diskless station, such that when you plug the network within this, by default it will switch on like a TV. That's it. And external peripheral interfaces will be there, keyboard and mouse. So when the network is being plugged in, the embedded chip which is available in the board will boot up, and it will ask you a username and password. Once you supply username and password, by default your desktop will get to open from the remote. Even you can give request to change the operating system. You can request to change anything. Yeah, you can by depending upon your monthly billing cycle, you can change the memory size pertaining to RAM as well as secondary storage. Both the things that you could be able to change. CPU speed, if you want to work with high performance computing applications, that you could be able to change. You don't like any browsers, you can change your browsers. You don't need to do anything, just you pass a request like a chat window, it will be there. So at the end of the month, depending upon your usage, it will be billed. So hardly you will get a bill, monthly bill around 800 rupees to 1200, depending upon your usage. Plus you will get your internet bill. So that's a basic framework they have devised, and still they are working on it. How can we customize it for our Indian users? Think about that. So it would reach like anything nowadays. So that's a big idea on this. Next, what would be the benefits on this SOE? Especially decision making will get empowered, likewise they will convey. But this operation that we could able to assign not only with the vendors, even you can think in terms of consumers also. You are having your own choice to choose a service. Okay, you are having your own choice to choose a service. Second thing, process. Whatever the service, even if you devise a nuclear reactor, that can also be accessed as a service nowadays. Okay, so if you are going to design a HPC physics experiment device, or if you are going to create a thermal imaging spectrometer, it could be a device, right? So any type of device can be aligned with the IT operations. Okay, anything can be linked with the IT through this process. That would be very easy. So in our earlier terms, we will use the term called it could be a component. Okay, so while we are learning, we have a subject called component object modeling, COM. So as COM plus is there, also is there. Okay, component object modeling. Anything can be used. Microsoft have used this efficiently. So their basic software, Visual Basic, they started their GUI environment has flourished like anything through that. So you can create your own component and you can use it over there. So likewise in open source, Java Beans will have that flavor. So you can create your own component to manage. For example, in a brick manufacturing environment, to control the pollution over the chimney, we have designed a simple component. Depending upon some regular intervals only, that fumes will be passed over through the chimney. It will be done remotely. Brick chamber the chamber will be somewhere else. The operation terminal will be somewhere else, but through the thing that they will convey. So when environmental safety officers are going to visit the location, they won't go and see the chimney. It's enough for them to come and see the thing. What would be the amount of fumes that we have released in the regular intervals? What could be the daily effect on this? Yeah, that they could be able to compute it very easily. So any type of process can be aligned with IT very easily pertaining to this SOA platform. Don't worry about we will be conveying Java is a platform independent one. XML is platform independent and language independent. That's a next level for Java. So it will increase your operational efficiency. See, don't worry about your coding platforms. Think it like a plug and play device. That's all. So if you want to analyze anything, you come with your component. We are going to analyze with it. That's all. So that's the interesting thing about this platform. Don't worry about your end users as well as developers. Everything what you need that can be plugged and played. That's the entire future being supplied by this SOA. Finally, practice. Best practice technology will be done through the reviews and comments, right? So I think nowadays it's very famous. A sentimental analysis will be given if that particular product is going to reach the market effectively through the customer usage. So based upon that, we could be able to use it effectively. As well as you can create your own bundle and put it over on that SOA platform. It will give you reviews, right? So you no need to wait in the queue. So if you are going to develop a bundle, a software bundle, and it need to be used, no need to go and market it. See, the initial days, I suppose I have developed a billing software for supermarket. So what I will do, I will go with my brochures. These things are available, and you could be able to do that. Otherwise, you can go. Otherwise, you will go for Google Ads service, and you will put for the marketing section. Now, don't need to involve all those things. Just to give it to that your SOA broker. It's enough. What he will do, he will substitute your software as a service. You have to pay monthly something. So whenever any recommendations are going to happen, they will recommend towards their customers. They will use and they will respond with their feedback. Especially for premium customers, they will give it as a free, right? Depending upon the usage, you will get income also. So that's the interesting thing with the SOA. Most of the things will not be exhibited by the enterprise people outside because it will affect their market. So if it is known to the academic committee, academic environment in still some more fashion, such that it would be more famous. I have developed my new software. Your entrepreneurship scale could be completely automated in SOA if you want to convey it very clearly. No need to put a bench and say, take this product, take this product. No need to go and sit in a trade center in Nandambakam, right? Give it to the platform. They will do it and they will give you back the revenue also, right? For first 1 or 2 months that you have to wait for your reviews and comments. That's it. For that, you are going to pay a simple amount because in business, without investing for your the different type of marketing, you could not able to come up with a profitable one, right? So such interesting things will be given by SOA starting from as a analysis stage 2 in our software engineering life cycle, starting from requirements collection to till your maintenance completely automated, right? So that's what our interesting future will be accessed everything as a service. And you could be able to see this. This is a case study for you, right? Can any one of you tell me what this case study is about? Yes? Do we have any messages on the chat? Yes? Do you have any messages on the chat that I could be able to see? Okay. Post your messages in the chat. Just to see this case study. What this case study is about? Respond. What this case study is about? Yes. Basic internet model. Okay. Any other answers? So ultimately, you could be able to observe it as a service. Consumers are nothing but those who are accessing from their terminal, mobile device, and internet could be the backbone for this. The business processes are being available in that respective layer. Check the services, that's very important. Through that, you could be able to come to a conclusion. This framework has been designed for financial aid services, student services, virtual classroom, facility services. So this is the SOA framework for the environment of any higher education, right? We would have a lot of research scope on this. It could be a diagram, it could be a block diagram, but you can create some more interesting components on this, right? Google Shoot is providing this. So virtual classroom could be enabled through this Google Meet. Apart from that, they are providing the Meet extension. Okay. So if I am going to offer a paid service, if I am going to offer a paid lecture, in that case, I could able to mingle with the Google Pay by default. I'm having an extension. So likewise, everything can be integrated as a service here. That's the thing. Whatever the thing that you want to provide to your customers, that can be given over there. New components can be embedded in the new service components. Okay. As well as you can hide those components also. Some of the components will be visible to us. That was you want to differentiate premium customer and free customer. So for premium customers, you could be able to expose, and for free customers, you could be able to hide something. So once they are converted into from free to premium customer, you could be able to show them. The privileges can be done over on the last layer. Okay, so by that, such an interesting case study this one, and you can use it for your final year project work. That you could be able to create a framework. I am not talking about the software. I'm talking about the framework. You can create a framework for higher education. Some more in a flexible way. You could be able to understand some of the issues in the things that what we are using. See, now I don't know who are all typing in the chat window. What I have to do, I have to switch over from there and to see here. That could be a big challenge here. So why don't it could be reflected in the screen itself, in the presentation screen itself. This could be a basic challenge that you can solve, and you could be able to incorporate it in your framework, right? So such a interesting thing it is. So to understand SOA in another way of cloud computing, okay, how to understand this, what are all the regions that we have to work. So that can be done, that can be elaborated through this example. Might be in cloud computing you may have come across this example, but in the perspective of SOA, how it would be. Check that first one, made at home. So ultimately, you could be able to see the components. So the things which are in blue color, right, that you are going to manage. The things which are in green color, vendors will manage. That means the things which are in green color are nothing but the services. Okay, these are all the services. First option, there is no service. Everything that you are going to do on your own. It's like your desktop. It's like you are accessing your own internet. It's like you are accessing your own device, right? So everything that you are having physically, there is no virtuality over there. Everything is available physically for you. That's what made at home. And in the second section, you could be able to see take and bake. Services are nothing but the raw materials. Raw materials for making pizza dough, the flour, sauce, toppings, and cheese. So rest of the things above in blue color are available in your home, right? So rest of the things are being invited through some online delivery app. Okay. In the third level that you could be able to see, platform as a service. Now here you could be able to see raw materials and infrastructure, gas stove, oven, fire. These are all your infrastructure. Raw materials plus infrastructure will be done through your vendors, will be provided by through your vendors as a service. So that's what platform as a service. Finally, everything is being available as a service, that you are going to eat in a hotel. That's it. So you are not going to do anything, just you are going to eat. That's all. So everything is available as a service. So ultimately, SaaS could be the final outcome of this SOE. In this, software, hardware, raw material, infrastructure, raw material that we could able to take the term data. Everything will be supplied by the vendor itself. You no need to do anything. That could able to perform. A face recognition app that you want to build, no need to write the code from beginning. Face recognition module will be available in AWS. That's all. Your job is to download it and to install it in a device. It's over, right? The software will direct the device. You no need to do anything, just to switch on the device. Okay, so that could be the ultimate thing through this example. The next level. So this could be the actual orientation for you. The block level of our SOA. This is what programmers and developers must understand. Okay, computer science people need to work on this in terms of programming, right? I could be able to describe a web service using WSDL. Okay, I could be able to, for example, I am having a software which will predict the weather, and I could be able to advertise it. I could be able to advertise it that I am having this. Okay, so that's also being done through this WSDL. This type of service is available with me. You can use it. You can access it. How to access it? Everything will be available in WSDL. You can write the code through your XML. Okay. So, and how to convey to the outside world, or how to convey to other services. Service to service communication also will happen here. How to do that? That can be done through your SOAP, Simple Object Access Protocol, right? So it could be the interface between the service and the outside world. It could be the interface between the service to service, inter-service communication, intra-service communication. Okay, you could able to see in your tab, two services will communicate, nothing but weather as well as the time. Time will be provided by the network vendor, weather will be provided by the weather service. So two heterogeneous things could be able to communicate, and they will come and project in a common environment. That is also possible through this SOAP, right? I can customize my protocol SOAP. I can customize my SOAP using XML. I can write my own SOAP for my services. Okay. So these are all the development level that we could be able to customize and move forward. So quality of service is nothing but that these are all the parameters that you need. So they have mentioned 2 times management. So don't take it in the wrong sense. Reliability management, transactions management. So that's the thing that I want to stress here. Okay. So that's not about 2 times management. So reliability is nothing but, so I don't need any terms of failures here, right? Mean time between failure or mean time to failure. Ultimately, I have to go for ideal condition, right? So if internet is being cut at some time, what will happen? Ultimately, I cannot able to access the device, or I cannot able to access the service. That's all. You will lose your customer, right? So reliability is very, very important. So transactions, communications between the corresponding service is very, very important. So reliability management, transaction management could be a logical entity that we could be able to observe only through the services what we are developing. Next, WSBPEL. So this is like your people who are familiar with middle tier technologies, especially EJB, right? Enterprise Java Beans. Nothing but I don't know where my logic resides. Okay. So presentation layer, the screen will be visible towards you. Data tier, that means data layer that will be available as a database. So in between that you have the core business logic. That business logic, I don't know where it will reside. Nobody knows where would be the business logic of railway reservation system of IRCTC resides. No one knows. That will be purely maintained by CRIS, Central Railway of Information Search. They will be maintaining that, right? So likewise, especially for managing the logics alone, that I could able to use this WSBPL. It is very easy to write program, right? Using WSBPL. By 8 lines of code, I could able to create a logic, right? If you are familiar with the XML, it's very easy to do that. The logic that what I have created using WSBPL will be advertised through WSDL. Okay, will be advertised through WSDL, because WSDL will tell what this logic will do, what this logic's capacity, right? So now weather prediction logic will be available in WSBPEL layer. Weather service label will be available in your WSDL, right? So this labeling advertisement will be done through between services via SOAP. Okay, SOAP is completely implemented through XML. So the entire SOA framework could be managed through this XML. You should be an efficient hand in XML to manage this. That is the reason why in the first unit that we are going to work with the XML. So XML could be the markup language, the main one. XML need to be considered as a database actually. You can use, if you want to create a lightweight database, you can use your XML to create it. So from 1990 onwards, XML is very famous, but the usage of XML has not been flourished through some invention of frameworks are being delayed. That is the reason why XML is being not promoted well. Google and Yahoo know the power of this XML, but unfortunately, when Microsoft have fetched their hands with Yahoo, and through some startups that they started to acquire, they tried to know the power of XML. They have used it like anything, right? Even before in .NET framework only, the real use of interoperability can be fetched completely through XML. That could able to possibly that they could able to do that. That's very interesting. Later that time period only, Java is ready to adapt XML as a standard for their communication. Even nowadays, Java is accessing XML as an API only. Okay, you could able to come across some SAX, simple API for XML. Likewise, JAX, Java API for XML. Right? So that's the thing. And the major point that what we have to understand here is it's a platform independent and a language independent. That's a interesting facts about this XML. And remind that using XML, you can create your own database. Most of the sections would not talk about this because when we started creating database using XML, why you have to worry about SQL and no SQL? You can create a flavoring change in big data. That's the reason why Apache and other vendors who are involving or who are doing very good business on this big data, they are not talking about XML anywhere else, right? When XML come into the picture, but Microsoft is taking some more steps on this. When XML is coming into this picture, the role of big data, ultimately it will break more barriers. Why I have to put more effort for creating a node on Hadoop, right? To run a virtual machine, we have to suffer like this. Services are being easily enabled through XML, but why we are not ready to move for this? Okay, so these are all the questions to be raised on why XML has not been allowed to enter here. So Microsoft will open up the gate for this, probably. So this could be the structure of a basic XML program. Root node and the child node. Child node will have the sub-child nodes. So people who are familiar with HTML, that it's very easy to understand this one also. But HTML are all are built-in tags. But here we are going to use the user-defined tags. That's the thing. It's a very basic example for XML. Okay, the first line is going to talk about the version. Rest of the thing you have a content, right? That you could be able to see. Note, to, from, heading, body, and you could be able to see this is a well-formed example. I'll tell you what is a well-formed example. So whatever the tags being open, it is being closed. So everything is a user-defined tag. Okay, so nothing over involved here with the built-in. Don't think about this body tag and nothing. Okay, to and from, note. So note is the root tag, to is the child tag. So if I'm going to use anything within to, again it is going to be the sub-child tag. So here we are using only the root node and child nodes. That's all. There is no sub-childs here. Okay. So a very basic example, you can write anything on your own. So for example, you can write your own student as a root node. It has to be closed, student, and within that you could have child nodes, name, register number, mobile number. So these three could be the child nodes. So that you can given as a data, right? The flavor of XML is being famous to give the meaning for the data, right? That's the role of XML also. Whatever I am given within the tag, that must be understood by the tag itself. Tag knows what it is having, right? Tag must know what is the data it is representing. That's the power of our XML. These are all some of the XML related technologies. XHTML. XHTML is the extension of HTML along with some built-in tags being provided for the XML. XML DOM, document object model. Document object model. So what is the purpose of this DOM? To access data in a XML document. Here I have to access the data journey. So in that case, how to use that? I am having a XML tool. So I think you have come across this DOM in JavaScript also. The same type of flavor will be available here. Next is style sheet, XML style sheet language. So whatever you have studied in CSS, that can be fetched over here. You can create templates here using XSLT. Export is like how to access the child node, how to access the sub-child node. For that you will be getting the content. Xquery, it is used. So when I'm going to use the XML as a database, XQuery will be more useful to retrieve the data. Next one is DTD, document type definition. Probably we will see it in the next class. What is this document type definition is? So we are having two types of DTD, internal and the external. So like your style sheet, inline CSS and the external CSS. So likewise, we could able to describe about the data here. XSD, XML schema, XML schema. So I could able to define my database structure using this XSD. Xlink, so it is like your hyperlink. So how you will be using href tag. So likewise, you could able to link between DBs, link between predefined templates that can be done through this Xlink. Xpointer and Xpath will be combiningly used. Okay, you know about the pointer. So it's ready to store the address of another variable. What is this Xpointer? It is ready to refer the another template, or it is ready to reuse a query. So that can be done through this Xpointer. SOAP. So SOAP already we have talked about that, to communicate between services, to communicate service between the end users, service between the developers, intra-service communication. Those things are being possible. WSDL. So service description language. So how to advertise a web service, that can be done through this WSDL. So WSDL is being compatible with the UDDA also. RDF, rich document format, so that you could be able to see RDF and the SVG are something interesting. Scalable vector graphics. Both of them will be relevant to your graphics. Finally, RSS, rich site summary. So this could be a recent one that most of them will feel this, that your news websites are now being enabled with this rich site summary. The immediate update of your recent news and the corresponding video will be there once it is being shot by the cameraman on the live itself. That can be done through a fast update of the RTP, real-time protocol, that is being enabled with SOAP to retrieve the content immediately and to move for fast update and lightweight. That's the major role of this RSS. You can create your own RSS for your website, right? So Anna University have not developed RSS for its research, result portal till now. So you can create and you can provide for Anna University. So the update as well as the retrieval of data will be more fast. Rich site summary could be enabled over with the XML related technologies. XML attributes. I want to introduce here XML attributes, but my advice is you should not use this. But you must know, because in Anna University syllabus they have given this. You must come across this. See, like your HTML tag, what you will do? Body, background equal to, you will give some color. That color will come in the background in the browser window. So likewise here, I'm going to give you a tag book. For the book tag, I am giving an attribute called category. I am giving a value computer, right? So likewise you can give, it is acceptable. But the thing is, the document cannot be used for data retrieval. The document cannot be used for data manipulation, right? Suppose if I want to search a query within this XML tag, find out the authors of the corresponding category computer. So in that case, I could not able to search the attribute. I could able to search only child and subchild. I cannot able to search a attribute of a child. We don't have facility in that in XML. That is the reason why, if you are going to provide anything as attribute, that can be converted as a subchild. Now you could able to see here, book, publisher, I have converted into the subchild here. Okay, so try to avoid attributes, convert it instead of giving the category. So within the book itself, that you could able to give it as a subchild, category computer. Close the category there itself. So that's the interesting thing about. Next, XML comment statement. What is the XML comment statement? So and you could able to see that the same comment statement that what you will use in HTML, the same thing. Angle bracket, exclamation mark, hyphen, hyphen. You can give whatever you want. Next, hyphen, hyphen, angle bracket. This could be the comment statement for the XML technology, right? So pertaining to program, we have revised that. Even in this program itself, we can revise that. You could be able to see the user defined structure here. Students is the root node. Student is the child node. Name, marks, these are all sub-child node. Okay, so everything is user defined. And see, we have seen some related technologies on XML, how we are retrieving the data, So that's something interesting to work with. So that can be done through our DOOM, document object model, on this. And this could be the rules for our well-formed XML. Yeah, so you have to see this clock from 1 to 8. It must begin with the XML declaration. XML declaration was given here. Question mark is nothing but a declaration tag. Okay, I have given the version, what type of encoding that we are going to use. Don't worry about this encoding and all those things. When you are going to work in a XML editor, by default it will generate like an IDE. It must have one unique root element. What is the root element here? Students is the root element. Third one, all start tags of XML documents must match the end tags. Students is closed by students. Student is closed by student. Name is closed by name. So for every tag open, it was being closed. XML tags are case sensitive. So ultimately, we are giving everything in the small letter only. All elements must be closed. So we did it. All elements must be properly nested. Yes, we have properly nested root node, child node, sub-child node. All attributes, values must be quoted. Okay. So I think probably the values are here very nominal only. So there is no purpose of quoting here. XML entities must be used for special characters. So we will come across while we are going to learn the XML in a detailed fashion. Okay. So if a program is a well-formed XML program or not, how to find out that? You have to check this 8 points very clearly. When it is going to reach the clock 6, when it is going to tick 6, ultimately it will be 100% well-formed XML document only. 7 and 8 are optional only, but to be a strict behavior, people will be following. So it's time for discussion. So ask your clarifications here through the chat window.